Hello everyone, I'm Alex Smith and this is Rupert from Business Growth Bureau. Welcome. So today we're actually bringing a question to you that was raised on our last webinar actually, in terms of we had a lot of new startups on, and they were actually one of the biggest questions that came away from that is, how do I get clients if I have no credibility behind me? I've just started out, how do I get new clients from that? And one of the things that we pose with that is actually, before we get into the point of actually generating new clients and how we get onto that, is ask yourself two questions which are really crucial. The first one is, what am I selling? And make sure that you've really got this down to a T of actually, what am I bringing to market? Is it a service? Is it a product? Is it a widget? What is it that I'm actually bringing to market? Write that down and make sure you're conveying that message well. But the more important part of that is, what are people actually buying? Are they buying a solution? Are they buying a product? Are they buying, what are they buying from you? And does that tie in, or does that relate well to what you're actually selling, so that you know that the message that you're sending out is what people are actually buying? Now, Rupert, obviously, we tackled this quite well on the webinar, but for people watching right now, because they haven't joined us on a webinar yet, what's the best way if I'm a startup with little to no budget, I'm starting out, I'm a single consultant, what do I do to get new clients?
Right, okay, if you're a single consultant, then obviously it may well be you're trying to reach people in the business-to-business space, and if that is the case, you could do an awful lot yourself on a platform like LinkedIn. As a really good starting point. If you're actually trying to reach individuals, then obviously you've got platforms such as Facebook or Instagram where you can do a lot of stuff there at no cost or very little cost.
Yeah, I suppose it's a good point. I suppose on that point there, it'd be good to mention things like, obviously we all know this already, but things like Facebook and Instagram are great for audio, for visual, in terms of if you've got a product, or even if you can find a way of visualizing your service. But if I'm trying to generate new leads, what's the best way of doing that?
Well, if you're trying to generate new leads, it's being able to really hone down who you're trying to reach first of all, and that's really, really important, because if you try and spread your time or your budget and you're trying to reach too wider audience, everything will be too diluted and will have absolutely no impact. So really trying to hone it down.
So I suppose a tip to take away from that is, if you are a startup, is to focus on the macro to start with, in terms of find out who your actual target client is initially. So not trying to go after everybody, about finding out initially who that one or two really good kind of type of people is to go after. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing is, once you start to get that right, you can then start to target other niches or micro niches as well. But get things working well initially, that'll give you some money to put in the bank to pay for lots of other good stuff.
And what about,
forwards.
like, we all know that things like A/B testing works quite well. Do I go after, say, one market and another, or do I focus on one? What do I do? Do I put all my eggs into one basket and focus on that, or do I dilute it a little bit and go after, say, one or two different markets?
Again, it depends on the product. If it's a highly commoditized service, then you could do some Google advertising, do split testing as you've talked about. If it's more of a service that you're offering, in real terms, it may be a case you need to run with something for about 4 or 6 weeks before you start to get a feel for what really is actually happening. So think about that a lot. Once you've got that working well, then obviously start to extend it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is just an introductory video. This is we have actually filmed an entire series on this as well. I think it was an entire episode on this. I think it was about 15 to 20 minutes long. What we will do is, somewhere in the video you'll see the link to that, or you can either swipe up if you've joined us on Instagram today. What we'd love is for you to go along to that video, where we actually delve real deep in terms of different platforms that you can use for this, but more importantly, actually, how do you use them platforms to your advantage? So if you've enjoyed this video so far, as I said, jump on the link that's on the YouTube video, or if you're on Instagram, swipe up now or swipe up on the next slide, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you.